So good morning, everyone. I'm Wang Litingyu. Today I will share my work, concentrate on the lymph node segmentation based on incomplete labels. So first, for clinical significance, the accurate segmentation of lymph nodes can facilitate the quantitative analysis. For example, you can calculate the short diameter in a 3D perspective and not a 2D view. The second is the precision segmentation can also facilitate the metastasis of the cancer and the treatment planning. So for the lymph node, we think is a multi-region object class. It have variable shapes, positions, and sizes. And on the CT scans, there's little contrast between the lymph nodes and the soft tissues surrounding it. So by considering these difficulties, the first design is to reduce the the number of the labeling instances of the lymph nodes. And in the previous work, it's called the partial instance annotation, but each instance is still a complete 3D object. And so we just select two orthogonal slices for each instances. We call it the orthogonal partial instance annotations, and the visualize of the two kinds of annotation can be on the right, can be seen on the right. So there's still a problem. Is why we not annotate one more class, the background class. Because for the multi-region objects, there are some instances are unlabeled. When you label the, for example, when you draw the lines of the backgrounds, it may come across the unlabeled instances, and this requires the annotators ensure the lines are drawn correctly, so do not draw the background lines can reduce invisible burden. So I will give an overview of our proposed framework. For the sparse annotation, we utilize a prototype-based feature augmentation. And the second, we design a combination of loss for efficiently learn from the partial instance annotations. And the third is a reliability-based quotation method. In detail, we calculate a weighted means between a downsampled predicted probability map and the feature map from the bottleneck layer to get a we call intra-batch prototype. And second, we construct a memory pool which contains an inter-batch prototype. We select the lowest similar ones to update by the EMA mechanism. So after the prototype extraction, we get two kinds of prototype, and we utilize them simultaneously in the prototype-based feature augmentation model. It's an attention-based model. And after we get a refined version of the feature map and decode it again, with the same decoder, we get two predicted probability maps. So to efficiently learn from the partial instance annotation, we design a combination of loss functions. The first two is a conventional cross-entropy loss and partial cross-entropy loss. Here, the partial cross-entropy loss means we only calculate the cross-entropy loss on the annotated foreground pixel space. And these two can stabilize the supervision signals while promoting predicted more foregrounds. And second one is a region-based function. Loss function is a Tversky loss. By adjusting the parameters in it, it will tolerate more false positives. So we use the designed loss to supervise the two predictions. However, we think the two predictions contains complementary information. So first, we generate a pseudo-label by simply comparing the confidence, which is the probability of it in pixel level, to get the pseudo-label. And then we calculate a weighted means of the feature maps before the classification layers to get the class center, and we calculate the cosine similarities to the corresponding centers. And finally, we get the reliability maps. So by utilizing the weighted cross-entropy loss, we can learn from the pseudo-labels under the special reliability guidance. So the overall loss is the combination of the co-teaching loss and the loss for the partial instance annotation. So here we evaluate our method on two public available datasets. The first one is the LNQ 2023. The training set of it is already partially labeled. So to simulate the orthogonal partial instance scenario, we just select two orthogonal slices from each collected components. Oh, sorry. And the second dataset is the CT lymph node dataset. It has instance labels, and we preserve several instances in each case to simulate the partial instance annotation and select two slices to simulate the orthogonal partial instance. Here is our results. The first row shows the performance under the settings of the orthogonal partial instance annotation is an extreme sparse label. And the second row, the partial instance annotation, is for the fair comparison because the orthogonal partial instance is extremely sparse and is extremely difficult for other compared methods. Here is the visualization of our methods. We can see our method has more instance levels recalls and less false positives predict. And here's the ablation studies of our method. We are not only compared our method with the model we proposed, we also compared with some conventional method, for example, dropouts. And to summarize, we propose an incomplete labeled learning framework for both orthogonal partial instance annotations and partial instance annotation. And for the usage of our algorithm, with previous datasets only labeled the positive lymph nodes, it can be running under the two settings. And after the algorithms and refined by the experts, we can get visible lymph flows. That's all I'd like to share. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you.